Christy from Tales of the Ravenous Reader, and I'm here with Wendy Spinale.
Hi!
So excited. We are here on day one of YallWest. I stole her away for a few minutes so that we can get ready for your blog tour that's coming up.
Coming up.
So exciting. And if you didn't know, Wendy is the author of Everland and the upcoming Umberland, which is really what we're here to talk about today. I'm so excited for this book. I finished it earlier this week. And even though I sobbed at the end, thank you for that.
Sorry.
Was not expecting that. Although I had a lot of emotions after Everland too. So, yeah, they're not exactly super light reads.
No, you might want to have a box of tissues with you when you read this one.
I feel like chocolate would be great too.
Yeah.
And a buddy to text and be like,
oh my gosh,
Wendy Spinale broke my heart.
She did it again.
In a good way. I know, right? I know, but there's more to the story, so that's good. This is not it. So Everland was your debut, right?
It was. Yeah, it was my very first book.
It was, and now you have your second book coming out next week?
Yes, May 9th.
Oh my gosh, it's so close.
Yeah, it's coming out.
So close. What was it like writing Umberland versus writing Everland?
It was challenging because Everland at the time, I didn't have an agent, I didn't have a publisher, so I could take as much time as I wanted. And then when we sold the series to Scholastic, suddenly they were like, hey, we really like Everland and we're going to go ahead and spend so much time editing it. But by the way, we want Umberland like next week. And so there was a lot of pressure to try to get Umberland out and to make sure that it was equal quality that Everland was. But overall, I enjoyed how the story came out. It was fun, especially writing some of the scenes within the labyrinth. It was really a lot of fun to come up with some creative ways to bring out the Alice in Wonderland aspects in a new, innovative way.
Tell me about the title, because I remember when you told us at your launch last year, you were like, oh, book 2 is titled Umberland, and guess where that's set at? And I did connect the dots, so how did you come up with the title?
Okay, so Alice in Wonderland, so Umberland is kind of sounds like the one.
It does.
But, so Everland takes place in London proper, and once London is destroyed, we've renamed it Everland by the notorious Captain Hook. Our next story takes place just north of Everland or London in a county of Northumberland, which actually exists. There is an actual Northumberland, England. Inside Northumberland is Alnwick Castle, which you will recognize from the Harry Potter films. That's where all the Harry Potter films were at. And as I was creating these stories and I was finding these connections for not only the entire fairy tale cast that I would write in the process of the 3 books, I was finding these clues that this was meant to be. Also, within Annex Gardens, there is an actual poison garden with gates. It has gates and it says these plants will kill you, and it has like the skull and crossbones. And I thought when I saw that picture, I'm like, that is the best place for a Mad Hatter tea party. Yes. So that's sort of where Umberland came from. Just like Everland, I didn't want to call it Neverland. I wanted to do that little twist. Instead of Wonderland, we decided to go with Umberland. Just because it's already there.
And it works. I mean,
it works.
It's like, this works really well, so it's perfect. So you were a Disney character.
I was.
And that influenced you picking kind of the Peter Pan setting?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, well, having the name Wendy, my mom named me after the Peter Pan, Wendy, of course. So I sort of always grew up thinking that the Peter Pan story was about me.
I can buy that.
I was sure, although I was still waiting for, even as a teenager, going, hey Peter, where are you? He's never coming to my window, right? And so later on, I ended up working at Disneyland down in Southern California, and there was a lot of, I was a Disneyland character, and a lot of those people influenced a lot of the characters in these stories, because with like Peter Pan, you would see your Peter Pan out on the main street, but then I got to see a little bit of who he was backstage, and he's still just as mischievous backstage as he is up front.
They hired people that actually embody the characters in real life.
Yeah, very much so. And so, so a lot of that went into who the characters were. In fact, the gentleman that played my Captain Hook when I was around often, and the Peter Pan, I would call him up and say, so I have this dilemma. What would Peter do? And they would give me advice along the
Didn't one of those people come to your launch last year? Was it one of the events?
Yes, he was actually a Pluto. But yeah, and that was a big surprise. I had not expected him. Yeah, so a lot of that, there was a lot of influence for that. And part of it, I had written a book that I started looking for an agency. And a lot of the agents came back and said, this is fabulous, we really like it. The idea, the concept is great, but it's dystopic and nobody's taking dystopic, so come back to us in 5 years. And so I was bummed and devastated and like, okay, what am I going to write? And a lot of my good friends were saying, write what you're passionate about, what do you love? And I'm like, well, I like fairy tales, but I also like young adult. What can I do to make those two things come together? And so the idea of having a dark, sort of twisted fairy tale was on my mind. And as I started to think of the similarities between the stories, I was seeing the airships, I was seeing, the Captain Hook fake arm or hook and the clocks, and then going into the Alice in Wonderland series, you got the rabbit with pocket watch, although the white rabbit does not show up, and he was there in the original draft but was taken out. But
plenty of other characters, and sentiments and kind of themes and all that.
Yes, and even the Mad Hatter Tea Party, it has that Victorian theme to it. So that's when I decided to go into the steampunk fairy tale retelling, and so that's kind of sort of what drove this series.
I love it. I love both books for sure. And then so there's more coming in the series. This is not it. There's actually one more part to it currently, and there's more coming. So what else is on the radar for the series?
So I'm just finishing up book 3. Which actually I can't give the title out yet, but I will give you this. We finally are going to leave England, and we are going to adventure to the Emerald Isle. And that's where I'll leave it for you guys. You can kind of ponder what that looks like and what it means. I also have a novella coming out. So back in December, we had Lost Boy come out, and it was the prequel to Everland. It's told by Pete. And Pete, his story before the whole Lost City was built. So I will have another one coming out in December. We're still trying to sort out who that person is going to be and what that's going to entail. So.
Well, I was tell the audience that if you haven't read Everland yet and you're looking to kind of get a taste before you go in, you could totally read Lost Boy. It's on its own. It's 99 cents on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's a quick read. It's a great intro to the series.
Yes.
So I would definitely recommend if you're like, I don't know, fairy tale retelling, I don't know, definitely check it out.
Yeah,
that's check out these two because they're.
And that one is e-format only. These it's in hardback, paperback, audio, which is one of my favorite ways to read, and also ebook. You can get it in any format.
So there's no excuse not to read it. It's not super long, so it's not going to take up a ton of your time. I love that, actually. I don't read a lot of fantasy personally, because it's long, and I don't like to get into worlds I don't know what I'm doing in, and so this is perfect for those that like fantasy but don't want a ton of fantasy.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, May 9th.
May 9th.
And if you're local in the Bay Area, you have a launch.
I do. Book launch is May 9th at Town Center Books in Pleasanton.
We'll be there. We'll be covering it live.
Yeah. Judy Wheeler's been kind enough to host it for me, so it should be a great event. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited. Your launch was full of people last year. So I'm sure it's going to be full of people this year. Really, really excited. Well, thank you for being here with us. I've had a ton of fun at YallWest, signing books and panels and all that.
It's going to be a busy day for all of us. It's going to be a great event.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.